The KServe project is finally graduating in CNCF, which is great. A lot of the things that have been done with KServe in the past few years is that we started for MLOps and now we're moving to also serve generative AI, which is amazing. So what LLMD does is basically help you out, manage all of this in a very optimized way so you can actually predict your demand when you're doing AI inference. But some are afraid to put their data on the cloud. So what they're looking for is hybrid cloud solutions where they can maybe, still do some of that virtual assistance and chatbot on the cloud, but how can they bring that innovation also internally and maybe serve different type of customers, use more private data on-prem? And what we're helping them to do is to become their own model service providers for their customers and for their internal users. So they can actually build this platform that allows them to self-serve models so they can connect to an API and then let the developers and the data scientists and the AI engineers innovate internally and use the internal data. We validate and optimize open source models, or open models, not only the open source ones, but also open model. And we let organizations use these open models on top of our platform. And then you can run them on the LLM. And eventually, as you scale, use LLMD to help you out, manage that scalability and that predictability of the demand. Choose the model that you want. Choose any hardware. We validate hardware providers like Nvidia, but we also work with AMD and many of the cloud providers. Customers can run the model in any hardware that they need.
And they can also run it on EC2 and it doesn't matter, right?
Yes, exactly. They can run it in EC2. It's portable, right? You can use Google TPU. You can use the AWS hardware acceleration as well. We also enable customers to run them on the IBM AIUs and Fusion. And you can access all of that through the OpenShift AI platform. So what we're doing is making sure that organizations can still use the power of OpenShift and OpenShift AI for things like the things that you mentioned: control, flexibility, governance, management, and portability. So that's what allows you to finally deliver the hybrid cloud. You can have those models running on the cloud, but you can also have similar versions of those models running on premise. And then you can define how depending on the use cases that you have, then you can deploy on the cloud or deploy on-prem, but you can basically achieve the same performance or the same delivery that you want. One of the things that I'm very keen to see is how everyone is thinking on adopting Agentic AI as we hit 2026, because Agentic AI is definitely going to become that last transformation for AI to make sure that businesses can really see the value in AI. And I believe AI agents and Agentic AI can help them do that. Looking at how can we innovate going forward? How are we going to run agents in Kubernetes, right? Can we run them similar as we run our cloud native applications? Or how we're running our Gen AI workloads? I'm very excited to see how people are addressing this problem. One of the things that we have seen with InstructLab is, like you're saying, right? It's very innovative. You can use only the SDGs and OpenShift AI. Or if the only part that you want to use is fine-tuning part of the pipeline, then you can use it as well. So what we have done is basically breaking it down so customers have more flexibility when they're using InstructLab to use the parts that they care about. And also that allows them to mix and match.